What's it like being so handsome?
What kind of question is that? Any other questions? Is that it? That's an awkward question, but thank you.
In my practical life, I don't go around thinking I'm very handsome.
Thank you for the compliment. I just consider myself to be a normal guy. I don't think I'm handsome, but yeah, just a good, kind human being, I guess.
Humility.
And this is what I'm talking about, how good men get ruined.
Girlfriend? Wife?
Ex-girlfriend now.
If you guys were living together when COVID happened?
We still are.
When did you break up?
3 months ago.
And why are we still living in the same place?
Lease agreements. I can't really afford to move out on my own right now.
And her? What's her excuse?
Dating my roommate now.
I'm really fucking sorry to hear that.
We were together for 10 years.
How are you?
Honestly, not that okay. What's really fucking me up is that she wants to get back together, but she's pregnant now.
Oh my God.
With his? And what do you think?
I don't know.
Because your brain says one thing and your emotions say another.
Obviously, I want to get back together with her, but now that she's pregnant, it's like, is it even possible?
That's stupid. Use your common sense.
You're just ruining it. Look at my lips. You're ruining it.
So easy for us to say, not living in that apartment with her and spending 10 years with her. But to everyone in this room, the answer is clear.
He's in a bad financial situation. His girlfriend cheats on him. With his roommate, he doesn't have enough money to even move out, so he has to see them every day. She's pregnant. She's playing on his brain, trying to get back in a relationship with him, and he's so in love that he's still contemplating even doing it. Listen, I'm not saying all women ruin men. Of course not. There's tons of great women in the world, but enough of them do. When you take a woman that cheated on you with your roommate, got pregnant, like, what are you gonna raise your roommate's kid now? If you accept that, what else do you think she'd do? I don't make the rules. I just play the game. And it's a dirty game. Stay focused, though.
Yo, at that point, just live in your car. Many of us have done it before. Just save the money, shower at the gym, and move on before you lose your mind. That is, if it isn't already lost. Guys, playing into anything feminist is a losing game, and that means anything. Seeing a woman who is 85% traditional with a tendency to watch The View? Get out of there. If she's cooking meals and cleaning the house, but has a guy friend from college who still texts her? Get out of there. Does she do all of the aforementioned things? Have no college friends but likes to go out to the club on Friday nights with the girls? You guessed it, get the hell out of there. On this channel, there's a lot of warranted discussion over walking away and setting up a life for yourself. 304s, simping, club hopping, all of that is clearly something that needs to be exposed as much as possible. But there's also the obvious fact that needs consideration when we talk about feminism, and that's just it ruins good men. Men who would otherwise be completely functional in daily life, who work hard, who deserve more, only to walk the earth a different person because they made the brutally awful mistake of compromising for comfort.
The prettier the woman is, or the prettier she thinks she is, the more mentally unwell she usually is. And they often have a strange view of reality, thinking that they're more important on the planet Earth than they are. They're of greater value. They deserve more. They don't have a sense of what their true merit, talents are. They might think that they're always saying something interesting when really, no, you're not. Men are engaged with you because they'd like to get engaged with you. So often I find that it's just not worth it. And a lot of ignorant young boys, they see a guy like, oh man, his wife's so beautiful, or his so-and-so is so gorgeous. And they don't realize like that man is putting up with hell on earth.
Bingo.
So you decided to get Wingstop without me? Look at that. Look at all the stuff you already ate. You got Wingstop.
Good, bro. You don't be cooking, so what you expect me to do?
So you went out your way to go get Wingstop. Ate the whole what?
Tell them how you just wanted to make me... Face the camera at me.
What?
Just wanted to make me some noodles. I'm not gonna sit here eating noodles all the time.
So you went out your way and you got... what count did you get, actually?
Don't worry about it.
A 10-piece count. And you decided not to even give me one. You didn't decide to share. I was in the room.
Bro, you always offering me noodles. Always offering me noodles. I don't want to eat noodles, so I'm gonna go get what I want to eat.
I was in the room minding my own business, and I come out here, and you're eating Wingstop.
Okay.
And you felt
Go eat some noodles. You wanted noodles? Eat noodles.
Who does that stuff, Kevin?
Kevin Howard.
That's so ridiculous. You know I love Wingstop, and you decide to sit here and not give me Wingstop? Huh?
Girl, bye.
So just for that, I'm actually going to give you noodles for the rest of your fucking eternity.
Something tells me she thinks their, quote, eternity is going to last long. But no, Kevin Howard ain't going to put up with that. In the modern world, especially in the West, men are incentivized not to be who they are, providers. Obviously, the Kevin Howard situation with the chicken wings is funny. I laughed. I know most of you laughed. That's not exactly the point. The point is, if Kevin here continues to live with a woman who clearly needs less chicken, he'll continue to develop non-masculine habits, which isn't a problem right now, but in a few years of bullshit, it will be. This is because, in a functional, traditional society, it would actually make sense for a man to get food for his wife. It should be raw and on its way to being cooked in the kitchen, but the man's obligation is to bring home the bacon. But this woman is like the rest of modern women, refusing to do anything above the bare minimum, microwaving noodles, and then demanding better treatment that she has not even begun to match. And Howard, reasonably so, is in no mood to put up with that garbage. There is no reciprocity and there is no chicken. Therefore, if a chick withholds her female duties and a man still chooses to live with her, he'll be inclined to drop masculine habits over time. He won't work as hard, he won't clean up because intimacy will be non-existent, and he won't bring home the proverbial bacon. Not walking away further damages the marketplace, and masculinity by association.
So let's say there was a company that employs male and female models. The female models will earn $1 million a year for the company, and the males will only bring in $100,000 a year for the company. Should they have to pay both of them the same because it's equal work for equal pay? Or should they give more money to who's actually bringing money to the door, the women for the company?
Buffering, so embarrassing.
I want to be selfish. I want to worry about me and not have to think about making somebody else happy. You know what I'm saying?
Make a baby. You say you want to be selfish, and I'm just sitting here listening. I'm like, you're a mother. What are you doing in your single years is going to help you become a wife?
Work on myself. Work on what my priorities, my goals, my
Johnny Gill ass. Me. Who listen to this selfishness? But you could have married that person.
I don't have time to.
You could have married that person.
No, some men are selfish. So.
But you're a selfish woman. That would have been perfect.
Oh.
Don't blame it on the men. You picked him. We are what we attract.
We are what we attract. Wise words, and why proximity is a serious thing. Women don't want equality. They want equity. That ruins masculine incentive. And look, don't get me wrong here. Men and women are not equal. They never have been. That's problematic thinking. But what we see in feminism today is equity, meaning prioritizing equal success in all fields and lifestyles. That's not just problematic, that's deadly. In the past, in a positive male-dominated workforce, men knew exactly what was required to get to the next level. The hierarchy was established, work was based on merit, and men knew that. In most cases, if they didn't get to where they wanted to be, they needed to try harder next time, do better, be better. In today's institutions, the government and anything connected to it has embraced feminist policy, and masculinity is punished from all sides. Modern women live in a society where their opinions are coddled and they are protected for, well, nothing. And here's what happens to the male personal life. Are you a hardworking father of four? Not anymore. Cindy saw a post on Facebook during a mood swing and wanted to run off with the kids. Are you a diligent husband who's trying to make an effort in the marriage and balance it with work? Too bad. Good luck with alimony. Or something as simple as opening the door. I shared that in another video, and the blue hair at the gym really let that guy have it. If men even think about encouraging any of this crap, they slowly but surely cease to be men. And when vulnerability rises, pain follows.
What's the most simp thing that a guy has done for you?
Oh, I'm going to New York on Monday with a guy that I barely know, and he got us the helicopter ride for 45 minutes over New York, and I barely talked to him.
You a simp! Is there any chance something happens?
He's really nice. I'm trying, but like I'm not. I've literally like I'm trying. Okay, like you want to do that for me, cool. Like, but honestly,
I'm not gonna.
I don't trust men.
Stop the cap. Why don't you trust men?
My ex, my cousin, my friends, everybody I know.
Was your ex like a thug or like a street dude or what was?
He's a felon, but he's also 10 years older than me.
You can't make this shit up. Y'all heard it.
So in 2024, y'all still going for felons?
No, not anymore. I'm good. The new guy, he does therapy.
Would y'all ever give a nerdy guy a chance?
Yes, that he is.
You not fucking with him though. You just said that.
Okay, but I might after.
After a whole helicopter ride around New York?
Yeah. But
We must stay focused, brothers. We must stay focused. So embarrassing.
A man cannot have a child in America and it be his, because he will always be at the mercy of the mother or pray to God that he gets a judge that sees his side. The men that I find that commit suicide the most are average men that worked the same job for 20 years, maybe a factory worker, maybe a plumber, an average man who spent 20 years making the right decision, or 10 years, whatever it was, accumulating wealth just for their wife to take their pension. And what happens is the wife spreads lies of them being an abuser. What will happen to these guys is a lot of times they're kicked out of their own home with one phone call. She can do one call, get you kicked out of your own home. He's then thrown with an abuser charge. She disparages his name all over town. I've even talked to men that the woman convinced his family that he was this. Zero evidence, zero proof. She did not go to court. And in family court, it's based on a balance of probability. So that means she has to cry to one judge, and one judge gets to determine if it was more likely that he did it than didn't do it. And it is not based off of evidence.
Yep, we gotta talk about it. Women attack reputations, men need them to survive. When the traditional hierarchy, with men at the top, was followed, nobody needed to worry about the tendencies that come with female biology and its countless manifestations. In this case, gossip. More specifically, character assassination. Men settling scores out in the field and women settling scores through gossip is nothing new. If a woman pissed another one off, she'd search for as much dirt as she could find. If she couldn't find anything, she'd make something up. And now, because women have been shoehorned into the same previously masculine-dominated spaces, they have brought their own methods with them. The issue with this is that when originally these attacks never left the Tea Party, now they actually impact men's day-to-day lives in family and the workforce. We saw it with the divorce cases, where women would create stories of a neglectful, narcissistic, and petty man making life a living hell, only to later find out that he was just too tired to help out with the dishes or some crazy shit. Later, it turned into the #MeToo movement. And while a couple of bad apples got tossed out the bag, most of this hunt destroyed men who did nothing wrong but stand in the wrong place at the wrong time. They'd make a comment in passing, or just do what they've been able to do for decades, and all of a sudden, they were jailed or fired, or both. And while women can bounce back from these things, men cannot, not easily. They spend their whole lives building something that provides a sense of purpose, and when lies are spread, it destroys the essence of who they are. And of course, there are layers to this.
For the toxic woman, when she says that she wants a man to check her, the toxic woman is saying, I need to be riled up. I need to be allowed to be riled up. I need to be allowed to disrespect you, but I need you to check me when I'm disrespecting you, because I anticipate I'm going to disrespect you. And the only way I know that you love me is because you give me that energy back. But that's toxic, right? So when a toxic woman is saying, I need you to check me, that's essentially where it's coming from. She's so dysfunctional and dysregulated that she doesn't want to be regulated, because that doesn't occur to her as healthy. She wants the love bombing because she's thinking, I'm so fly. Why wouldn't a man want to love bomb me? Is that love bombing, or do you really love me, right? That's what she's looking for. But a healthy woman is saying, I'm looking for us to be in a partnership, in union. And in order for that to be the case, we have the power of agreement. We have the power of unity. And the only way I'm going to know when I've stepped out of the bounds of our agreement is if you alert me. So that is what a healthy check is. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that in a relationship.
I think that she knows that she's toxic, and maybe she can't really get out of her toxic ways herself. So being in a relationship, she needs to have somebody to check her, meaning like, nah, that's not cool. You can't do that. Like, you can't talk to me this way. And she'll be like, okay.
That sounds like somebody who's trying to be reformed. Like, she's in process. Maybe she wants to become healthy. Because everybody's, some people can be in transition. An unhealthy person, that's on the grounds of like codependency. Codependency means, in order for me to be okay, I need you to be like me. I need you to do what I do. We can't have any gradient differences in our relationship, because the moment that you seem different, the moment that I can't do exactly what I want to do, and you're not doing exactly what I want to do. So if I need 1,000 hugs and 999, you tell me that's enough, I'm spazzing, right? And now I need you Now I need you to contend with me. I need us to go to bat. That is somebody who it does not allow for individuality within the context of a relationship. That's unhealthy. That's codependency. So when an unhealthy woman is saying, I need my man to check me, is what I'm saying is that she wants him to agree to her toxic level. She has no intention of transforming. She has no intention of being better. She just wants the combativeness because that to her means she's getting attention. That to her means that she is loved, she is cared for. That means that she can get in his head.
You raised your hand when I asked if you dated a narcissist. What made him a narcissist?
I don't know. I guess I'm not like that well versed on the word. He was just very self-centered and would do things that were rude and weird and then somehow find a way to blame it on me.
He was rude and weird and that made him a narcissist? Like, see what I mean? This is what I mean by why it is that I have trouble believing this kind of nonsense about all the narcissists who are around. Because I think when a lot of you women say that you've dated a narcissist, what you really mean is, I dated a guy who didn't kiss my ass. That's what I think you actually mean. People often confuse confidence with narcissism, which is insanity. They often confuse people who are correct with being narcissists because it makes them feel bad. There's not that many narcissists who are around. I don't understand how all these women are dating all these narcissists.
They're not, and that's the point. In the feminist pockets of the world, there is no way to fit expectations, and for men, that simply doesn't work. For a relationship between a man and woman to be stable, these objectives must be clear and in most cases, unchangeable. With clear goals, men are often able to achieve them. But if the goalpost keeps moving from one place to another, the man can't win. Which is why leaving requirements in the hands of women, from a societal perspective, is like giving a toddler the option of driving a BMW or an Aston Martin. It doesn't matter what choice is made, what the car happens to be, the little tot is going to slam that metallic missile into a divider with probable casualties. This, of course, plays a role in ruining good men, because good men need clear-cut rules and something to achieve over time. With women determining what these rules are, given the fact that they aren't even the same person every 3 weeks, you're just asking for trouble. Before the information was widely available, the West had tons of dudes flying blind into understanding what they were doing wrong. The media had conditioned people to think that women had foresight, that their needs were as simple as men's or ultimately unchanging. And in the end, that left otherwise effective males in family life crippled, unable to calibrate themselves. In a nutshell, that's why masculinity until 100 years ago was the priority. Now that we're witnessing the fourth wave, we know now that this has serious ramifications.
I can see why you're single, probably.
Yeah, I've been single for a long time. Wait, how long have you been single for?
Like 4 months.
Ooh, you sure you're ready for me?
I'm ready.
I've been single for 2.5 years.
Are you sure you're ready for me?
I don't know. I like how this is going. If there was no one here who wanted to date and like I was to like leaning for a kiss, what would you do?
Kiss you back.
The person I think is actually interested in me and is not here for the money is number 3.
Yes!
So, I want to come up to you and ask you one question.
I think he's right, he must be right.
If you're here for the money, you take the money. Are you here for love or here for money?
Sorry. But you can still take me on a date and we can like work out if it's true. Like once you go black, you never go back.
Oh my God.
No thanks.
What happened with your wife?
She dumped me for a super rich Israeli guy after also 22 years.
What's the reason you think she dumped you for the other guy?
She became money hungry. For example, when we traveled economically, this guy, she travels first class. So yeah, money talks, I guess.
Did she tell you that she was gonna leave and go with this guy, or did she cheat on you?
At the time she cheated. So I said, well, as far as I'm concerned, the marriage is over. There's no more trust. So I filed for divorce.
Did she wanna make things get better, or was she done?
She really wanted to separate. So I told her, well, what planet you living on? Just want to separate, and then if you decide with this rich guy to come back to me, I should accept you. It's not gonna happen. Not on planet Earth.
Was it hard for you that she did that?
Yeah, in the beginning it came as a shy, just like to everybody else. But you have to face reality. There's gonna be people better looking, richer, smarter, and whatever you happen to be, accept it and make the best of it.
Till death do us part, right? For richer or poorer, right? Wrong. Very wrong. Men, feminism is spiritually draining, and it doesn't stop when given what it wants. It's a parasite, and eventually it'll corrode the moral structure that a good man stands on, causing him to resort to all kinds of things he would have never thought possible. In my early years, before walking away was even on the radar, I knew a guy that went crazy over someone in college. He was, by most measures, a good man. He didn't party that much, he had great grades, he was starting a small business, and things were all heading in the right direction. And when he started this relationship, the women didn't appear to be that bad, at least to him. She said all the right things, she gave him gifts, but she, like all women, were very impressionable to the world around her. Over time, the cracks started to show, starting with her dragging him to clubs and different things with old friends. On the surface, this didn't seem like a bad thing. Everyone has friends. Everyone likes to go out every now and then. But what the woman didn't tell this guy was the group she was hanging out with had a past with her, with one of them being an ex. At the time, she convinced the guy I knew that everything was over and done with when it came to the guy, but regardless of whether or not that was true, she still ended up doing virtually everything the ex did when they'd go out, and feeling too attached to the girl at this point, the guy would join in. If the ex indulged in sketchy activities, the girlfriend would indulge in sketchy activities. If the girlfriend indulged in sketchy activities, the guy would do the same. I didn't see him for 2 years after that. I was too busy writing papers for other students for money and doing my own thing. But one day I went out and I saw the guy I once knew, the academic, the self-starter, lying in the backyard of some random house in his own vomit. I picked him up, wiped his face with a towel, and the guy drunkenly explained to me that he wasn't even in college anymore. He was working at a nearby Wendy's. And the business? It faded away when he spent money on parties. And the girl? Well, you guessed it, back with the ex. Now, this isn't to say that college is necessarily important. It usually isn't, and this isn't to say that getting a job of any kind is shameful. Working for a living never is. But, and I checked, this dude never recovered. He's at Five Guys. He runs pyramid schemes around high schools, and he looks more strung out than the Ben Affleck cigarette meme. Is this partially his fault? Of course it is. But if he knew what we know, if he understood the patterns, there's no doubt in my mind that none of this would have ever happened. Men can't abandon reality. Therein lies madness.
He left.
Well, honey, you told him to.
But he's not supposed to do it. He's supposed to change the way he feels and then do what I want. What the f is wrong with men?
I know we got a rule, but I'm just, kind of working it out.
Completely understood.
Ladies, welcome to modernity. Men, congratulations on your freedom. And if you made it to the end of this video, I want to say I appreciate you. So don't forget to hit that like button, drop a comment to have a chance to win, and hit that sub button for daily videos. And if you could take a quick second to subscribe to the second channel, Man Guide Reacts, link is down below in the description so we can be sure that our message will keep on reaching the new men out there. I appreciate all the support, y'all. I want to wish you all tremendous success.